as the clear front-runner. Joining us now for more is Anand Menon, Director of UK in a Changing Europe. And Anand, we find ourselves in a strange situation where it seems possible to say, yes, Rishi Sunak is definitely the front-runner here. There have been more public declarations of support for him. But we could still see Penny Mordaunt get onto the ballot. She could perhaps still get 100. At least her team seems to think so. What do you think of the prospects of each?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is it's impossible to know, isn't it? The nature of this ballot, with it being MPs who are the electorate, means that people are very secretive and sometimes, heaven forbid, a little bit duplicitous. So we won't know the numbers until they're announced. As you said, the Mordaunt team seem very, very convinced that they can get to 100. And of course, if she does, then that raises the possibility, at least, that this race continues till Friday and goes to Conservative Party members. We don't know if she'll get to that stage, and if she does get to that stage, whether she will concede on the basis that she doesn't have the support among MPs that Rishi Sunak does, or whether she'll go for broke and push the thing till the end on Friday.
And if we do get Rishi Sunak, markets, of course, are very focused on whether we get fiscal restraint. It's something that he acknowledged was necessary over the summer. Didn't land him the top job then, but seems as if it could be a slightly more palatable message now. We know that much about what he would bring. Would he be able to command the confidence of the party, of the House? Because that does seem something that Penny Mordaunt supporters keep saying, that she would be more of a unifying figure. What do you read into that?
Well, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, there are two big issues about Rishi Sunak and the economy. The first is, remarkably, we just don't know what his plans are. And that's because we're not involved in selecting the next Prime Minister, which means that above and beyond his sort of statement that he's going to fix the UK economy, we don't know what he means. Is he going to raise taxes? Is he going to cut public spending? How is he going to fix the UK economy? We know that he plans to be fiscally prudent in a way that Liz Truss clearly absolutely was not. But above and beyond that, we have no details. And that brings us to the political issue, which is he will be in charge of a Conservative Party that is fundamentally divided over key issues of economic policy. There are some in his party representing those Labour seats that Boris Johnson won, who are in favour of greater investment, who don't want to see ordinary people lumbered by more taxes, who would probably think taxes on the better off is a good idea. And then there are traditional Conservatives who believe just the opposite. Whether or not Rishi Sunak has the political skills to pull that very disparate coalition together, we're going to have to wait and see, but it's going to be very, very hard, I think.
I want to quickly ask about the kind of dirty little details that those of us living outside the UK don't see every day. Sunak has a problem in that he's incredibly wealthy, is that correct? And that a lot of Britons see him as helping to bring down Boris Johnson.
On the first, on his wealth, he certainly ran into trouble before because his wife had non-domicile status for tax purposes. And I think when that came out, it reflected quite badly on him with public opinion. So, yeah, but he's dealt with that now. He's, I think, given up his green card. His wife's given up her non-dom status. So I would be surprised if that were much of an issue for him going forward. This Conservative cabinet is full of people who are pretty wealthy, so I don't think he stands out in that regard. And I can now no longer remember your second question.
Boris Johnson, apparently, you know, a lot of people, especially in the Conservative Party, give him the credit or blame him for bringing down Boris Johnson as one of the first to give out his resignation.
That is a problem. I mean, there is an anyone but Sunak camp amongst MPs who feel furious with him for, as they see it, being the person who brought down Boris Johnson. I'm not sure he is the person who single-handedly brought down Boris Johnson, but actually the narrative is that he did. And that's problematic because you already have the sight of Conservative MPs saying, if it's Sunak, he'll have no legitimacy and we have to have a general election. Now, at a minimum, that simply provides attack lines for the opposition Labour Party. At a maximum, it speaks of the fact that these people are not going to be supportive and he's going to struggle to carry his measures through Parliament because he only needs 30 or 40 Tory MPs to turn and he will not have that majority.
All right, and thanks so much for joining us. Pleasure having you with us and appreciate your insight. Anand Menon there, Director of UK and Changing Europe.